In this tutorial, we're going to go through the steps of adding the Velcro to the coat. You'll be using tailor's chalk or some marking tool to make marks on the outside of your coat. So be sure to do a test on some scrap fabric to be sure the marks can be removed. So the first step you're going to do is fold the body section in half lengthwise and then lay it on a flat surface. Then we're going to determine the withers point. Lay the body pattern piece on top of the body section. Make a mark on your pattern for the position of the withers, if you don't already have one. You can find the withers by taking your neck to withers measurement, number 2 on the measurements chart, and measure that distance down from the dotted line on the neck. Make a withers mark at this point on your pattern. Then draw a straight line down the pattern to make your withers line. The next thing we're going to do is determine the Velcro position. Fold the tummy panel in half so the arms are aligned with one another. Position these arms so they are both lying over the curved section on the body. Line the top of a ruler edge up against the withers line. Line the bottom of your ruler up with the point where the tummy section meets the chest piece. In this example, that's where the red and the black parts meet. Measure down to the point that is half your chest circumference point, half of measurement number 4 from the measurements chart. Position the bottom fold of the tummy panel so that it meets the point on your ruler that is half of your chest circumference. Remember to try to keep the front part, where the tummy and the chest sections meet, in the same position. Now take your tailor's chalk and draw a line around where the arms lay on the coat. Draw another line at ½ inch in from the line you just drew. This will be your Velcro line. Erase the outside line as you don't need it. Determine the measurements of the outline and Velcro amounts. The amount and positioning of the Velcro is a little different for every dog. In general, I like to cover about 60% of the sides with Velcro. So to do this, follow this example. First, you need to measure the height from the top point on your outline to the coat edge. In my case, I get a measurement of about 7 inches. Multiply that number by 60%. In my case, I get 4.2, so I'll round that up to 4.25 inches. Make a mark for that measurement down from the top of your outline. In my case, I'll add a mark for 4.25 inches down from the top. Determine the width of your Velcro. In my case, I'm working with 3/4 inch Velcro. So I can get about 3 strips of Velcro within the area, which totals 2¼ inches. You don't need to have your Velcro strips butt up against each other. You can add a gap in between. I typically add about 1 inch in between each strip. So in my case, I'll add 2 inches. So for my setup, I'll do 3 times 0.75, which is equal to 2.25 inches, plus 2 inches for the gaps equals 4.25 inches, which just happens to fit perfectly within my area. A couple of Velcro tips to start. When placing Velcro on a dog coat, you want to have the hook side, which is the rough side, on the outside of the coat, and the loop side, which is the softer side, on the inside of the coat. You want to run your Velcro hook tape in one direction and your loop tape in an opposite direction. This way the pieces have the best chance of crossing over each other. So now it's time to measure your Velcro strips for the hook side. Make marks on your coat within your outline for the measurements you just determined. In my case, I am going to have 3 strips of the hook side of the Velcro with 1 inch in between each strip. Lay your Velcro running sideways so the bottom of your Velcro is at the bottom of your outline. I usually work on the back side of the Velcro so I can easily draw lines on it. You're going to be making exact copies of this Velcro for the other side, so in the end you will have Velcro that is facing in the right direction. Draw a line that follows the curve of your outline. Then flip the Velcro around and use that same angle to line up to your outline to measure your next piece. This will save you on Velcro. Draw a line following the other side of your outline, the flat side. Then flip your Velcro over again and mark off a piece that matches the top curve. Now cut those pieces out. Now you may have more strips or fewer strips depending on the size of your coat and the width of your Velcro. Just follow these basic guidelines to make your strips. Now you need to make a copy of those strips for the other side of the tummy. First, just cut a straight edge off the remaining Velcro so you have a flat side to start. Then place one strip of your cut Velcro with the back sides facing each other and draw a line. Then repeat for the two other strips using the existing angled lines to save Velcro. Cut out all your strips following the lines you made. And in the end, you should have 6 matching strips of the hook side of the Velcro, all ready to go. Now it's time to measure the loop side. Lay the tummy panels over the body again where you had them before, making sure the arms are covering the outline you made for your Velcro. Open up the tummy panel so one arm is still laying over the body and the other is facing down. Draw a line that follows the curve of the coat below. Remember, as I said, you want to place your hook and loop sides in opposite directions, so on the tummy panel, I will be running the strips vertically. Measure to ensure the top of the arm is the correct distance from the edge of the coat. In my case, it is still 7 inches, so I'm good to go. You want to cover a little more of the area on this side, so there is some more flexibility in the fit. So this time we will cover 70% of the area. In my case, I will cover 5 inches of the area. Draw a line where the bottom of your area should be. I'll draw a line at 5 inches. Then measure the width of that area to determine how many strips can fit in. You don't want your Velcro to go right to the edges or to the top of this area, so leave about 1/2 inch border around the edges. So I have an area of about 4.5 inches to cover. My loop Velcro is 1 inch wide this time. Now you can use different widths of Velcro since you aren't matching them up exactly. So if you have a variety of Velcro sizes and colors, you can mix and match here. I will put in 3 strips of 1 inch Velcro with 3/4 of an inch in between. So make marks for your measurements across the width of the panel according to your area and Velcro width. Now it's time to cut the loop Velcro. Lay your Velcro down, again with the backside facing up so you can draw on it. Draw lines for each of your strips following the curve of the arm. Remember, you don't need your Velcro to go right to the top. Measure from about 1/2 inch down from the top. Then cut your strips out. Then create another set following the same method you did before to match up on the back side of the remaining Velcro. In the end, you will have 3 matching sets of loop Velcro all set to go. Now, what I do is pair these pieces up with the hook side so they don't go missing. I don't know about you, but my Velcro always seems to like to go for a walk. I find it gets stuck everywhere except for where I actually need it. So repeat the same process again to transfer all of the markings you just made for the opposite sides of the body and arms. Once you've done that, it's time to sew the Velcro in place. Finally! So let's start with the body first. You can't use clips for this job, and I don't like to use pins on waterproof fabric, and Velcro is actually pretty hard to pin anyhow. So just go straight to your sewing machine and let's get sewing. Start on one side of the body with your bottom piece of Velcro and place it into the spot that you marked out, and then sew that piece into place. Then position and sew your top piece into place. Then sew in any middle pieces that you have following your markings. I like to do it in this order so I can also use my eyes to make sure the pieces are evenly spaced out. Sometimes things shift a bit when sewing, and you may need to reposition things a bit from your original marks. Now repeat this process on the opposite side of the body. Now it's time to sew the loop side to the arms. Start on one side of the arms and place the longest strip in place, and then sew it. Then sew in the shortest strip on the other side. Then sew in any middle strips to make sure everything is evenly spaced out. And then repeat it on the other arm. And that's it! You have completed sewing the Velcro